What up, Facebook? What up, Facebook? Let me make sure that my image is coming through okay. So I want to drop a couple of nuggets in your lap really quickly today, about the God class, God kind, God school. What I've been up to. Been a while since I've done a Facebook Live, so you know what? Let's go ahead and get it popping. Don't go anywhere. We want to talk about the God kind and the God class. So, whether you are aware of it or not, we all are individual expressions of God on earth. As an individual expression of God on earth, I reveal, explain, illuminate, and simplify in all my classes that your job is to do, number one, establish a mental disposition. So the hardest thing is to override the current habit pattern. In other words, we currently don't see ourselves the way source code designed itself. So you can't be what you can't see. So what I've done is I've been working with people, been doing this for 20 years. And in the time frame, in the last 20 years, I've perfected or kind of streamlined the things that really actually bring about the best results. And the thing that brings about the best results is, there we go. Camera's a little high. Let's see if I can drop it down a little bit. So the thing that brings about the best results. So everybody should be focusing on establishing what I call purpose-based production. That just simply means that you really should be focusing on the things that are income generating activities. A lot of people are busy, but they're not effective. There's a big difference between being busy and actually being effective. So I want to talk to you today about the importance of connecting with someone who is not just busy, but they are effective. Now, what I mean by effective, when I say effective, I mean that they're producing fruit. So everybody's definition of fruit is different. So the most important thing is for you to define what I talked about today with my private group. And that is, number one, you have to become a spiritual engineer. And now, you have to be able to have what is called spiritual intuition. You must become a spiritual influencer. We call it a social influencer. So the ability to influence yourself and to influence someone else socially or spiritually from a distance. Also in person. Now, I've just finished, or we're in the process of, I should say, finishing up, and my new home. One of the things I'll be doing is I'll be doing similar to a bread and breakfast, where I'm inviting people in, primarily couples, but individuals as well. So that way you can come, say 3-day, where you live with me for 3 days, so that way you can see the behind the scenes of what it looks like to run a $1 million online business. And so during those 3 days, I take you through the aspects of creating an online business by, number one, establishing your own brand. You got to have a specific niche that's not based upon a product, service, or information. It should be based upon your God-given design, your destiny, or your diakonia. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So number one, we establish you as an individual. This is explained inside of this diakonia report. So the first thing that we do is, this is a 750-page report that I give to all my clients. This is your personal Bible. Everything that you're supposed to do in your life, is inside of this book. So if you don't have this book today, you should email me. Again, if you're listening to this live, these cost this is $1,000. I've been selling them for $4.95. Anybody that emails me today at Dr. Will Rogers, aka MasterTeacher33, email me, drwillrogers33@gmail.com. We'll give this to you today for $199. So for $199, you can get your own personal Bible. Now, the people who come to my home here in Texas, again, you pay your way there. Cost of the entire trip, the entire program is $5,000. $5,000 is a lot of money to some people in this economy. The only question that I have is, I guarantee you that if you go through these 3 days with me, you will be able to generate at least $100,000. If you don't generate $100,000, and if you do everything that I inform you to do, I'll pay the difference. For example, if you come and hang out with me for 3 days, the next 12 months you generate $50,000, I'll pay you $50,000. I'll pay the difference between, but there's a catch. What is the catch? You got to do exactly what I do. That means that you got to create like I create. That means you got to post like I post. That means you got to have a product like I have. So if you do what I do and you don't generate, operate, and direct God, this is the God kind, God class. Now this is only for gods and goddesses. That's a big problem because the average Negro doesn't see himself as a god or a goddess. That is a peasant. That's the problem. Most Negroes are peasants here. Now I ain't calling you one, boo-boo. But I'm saying the average Negro is suffering from the psychological effects of Willie Lynch. The Negro is still on the plantation mentally. Now, the average Negro is a mental slave. Not you. I'm not talking about you. Those other people. So the average individual is a slave. Now, what's up, sister? Sister, what is that? Brother, who's that? Dwayne? What's up, Dwayne? Now, let me make sure we all on the same page. I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but I need you to understand something that's very important. Number one, you got to have the mental disposition of source. Number two, you must be the vibrational equivalent. That means you have something must come out of your voice box, the tone in your voice. Remember, there's an old movie called Love Potion Number 9. It's an old movie called Love Potion Number 9. It talks about the voice goes out and affects. Remember, you don't hear with your ears. You hear through your ears. You hear with your brain. You have, again, an auditory cortex in the brain. That's how you hear. Then number three, you do the activities of God. So if you don't do those three things, which I teach inside of my God class, now you can pick up a copy of that program. It includes my book, The Standard. So you get a copy of this, The Standard. You also get a copy of my book, The God Kind, Being God, which I don't know where's that book at. I got it around here somewhere. My book, Being God, that's included as well inside of the course. So this teaches you how to establish, number one, the mind of God. Number two, the frequency or the voice. So when you speak, the universe responds to you. That means subatomic particles called quarks, queons, and muons, they respond to the tone in your voice. The tone in your voice changes the molecular structure of matter. That's how you manifest. You draw things to you. That's the vibrational equivalent of you. So it's your vibration equivalency that we're talking about. So once you understand how the universe works, which I break down. What's up, Sister Allison? I didn't see you sneak in here. What's going on, Queen Allison? And so when you're able, what's up? Is that Goddess Cheryl of the West? Yep, that's Sister Cheryl. What's up? See, I can't see it on my phone because my phone is backwards. So I got to look over here at my laptop and see the comments. So what's up, Sister Cheryl of the West? We got Sister Allison, Dwayne. What's up, Dwayne? So now, remember, so the cost is $5,000. Come hang out with me for 3 days. If you're interested, just email me at drwillrogers33@gmail.com. drwillrogers33@gmail.com. Payment plans is available like always. But the whole purpose is to pick up on some of this God energy. Because that's how I got to this level. I hung out with people that was where I wanted to be. I picked up their frequency. And now I'm at that level. So the best way to do quantum jumping is to hang out with somebody that's already at where you're trying to go. Now there's a lot of different other ways, but the fastest way, the best way is quantum jumping. That's a energy transference, where I transfer the frequency of excellence, the frequency of generating, operating, and directing directly to you from frequency resonance. That just simply means if two objects are in the same space, what the object that's vibrating at the highest level pulls up the other object to vibrate on that same level. That's called frequency resonance. Frequency matching. That's the principle of frequency. So once you understand that, then you're able to, number one, mind of God. Number two, voice of God. Number three, activities of God. Bam. When you do that, you're part of the God kind. You are now just graduated from the God class. So your business, though, is not a product, service, or information. Your business, that's your life optimization circle. That's your DNA sequence that activates the Holy Grail grid engineer, that activates the magnetites and the crystals in the blood. So that means that makes you electric and magnetic. That makes you attractive. So now, instead of you going getting clients, clients come to you. You draw them to you because you are light. People see your worth and value. Now you have something called status. And people like hanging out with people who have status. And I broke this down earlier today. If you don't have status, then you have to have an algorithm. You got to have a clever marketing campaign. You got to work harder instead of smarter. So these are all of the things that I teach inside of the life management system, as well that I teach all my clients. So to cut this short, again, if you're interested in joining me in person, where I work with you for 3 days, you live in my home, me and my wife's home, here in San Antonio, Texas. We set everything up for you. We feed you. We get to you get to do my workout routine, my theocentric nutrition. You get to see what it's like to actually set up your own, again, 6-figure business. Once we set up and structure your business based upon your blood type, based upon your name, based upon your date of entry, your date of birth, based upon your place and time of birth, your ley lines, then you have a business. So most people are just busy, but they're not about the kingdom. They're not ambassadors of the Christos. They're not a Christian. They may be a Christian, but they're not a Christian. They may be drugged by God, but they're not a weapon of God. So when you're ready to be a weapon, now again, I'm not talking about none of this watered down Christianity stuff. I'm talking about when you're ready to be used by God instead of abused by man, holler at your boy. All right, brothers and sisters, I love you. I appreciate you. Email me, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Dr. Will Rogers, at 33@gmail.com. Email again. You can always just call me, 210-290-5927. Text me, 210-290-5927. If you're interested in my bed and breakfast, build a business in person, you get to work with me for 3 days in person in my home. I show you how to set up and run a 6, 7, 8-figure business based upon your destiny or your diaconia. All right, brothers and sisters, this your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33. Y'all already know my motto, I love you, and there ain't shizness you can do about it. Peace. I'm out.